Only qualified personnel should install and service appliances with a Proflame 2 system. See product manual for details. This video will demonstrate how to troubleshoot a Proflame 2 system. The following tools are recommended to have on hand when servicing a hearth appliance: gloves, a drill, wire strippers, a tape measure, a multimeter, a jumper wire, safety glasses, small flathead screwdriver, a manometer, and needle nose pliers. To begin, shut off the gas supply to the fireplace so it can be safely serviced. Next, ensure there are fresh batteries in the battery holder and remote. Then locate your multimeter and set it to check for volts AC. Check for voltage at the receptacle to confirm that approximately 120 volts is being supplied to the unit. This is where the flow of electricity starts as you track the movement of power through the unit and ensure all systems can operate correctly. Locate X1 on the control board and remove the Molex plug. Place the red and black leads into the locations where wires N and L were located. Alternatively, you can place the multimeter leads on the 2 screw locations on the outside of the Molex plug. You should receive a reading of approximately 120 volts. If you do not receive this reading, the wire harness will need to be replaced. Once voltage is confirmed, ensure the remote and module are synced and there are no error codes or lockout occurring with the system. Now set your multimeter to test for DC voltage. Locate the X5 connection on the control board and identify which wires connect to the battery holder. Remove the white Molex from the control board and place the red and black leads in the battery connections, matching the red and black wire locations. You should receive a reading of approximately 6 volts DC at this location. If you don't receive this value, locate the X8 location on the control board and disconnect the 6V DC battery connection. Test for voltage by placing the red lead on the small connection and black lead on the larger connection. From here, you should receive approximately 6 volts. If you don't, check the wires for damage and replace them and/or the battery holder as necessary. Next, turn your attention to the X2 location on the control board, where the spark wire is located. Remove the spark wire from the control board and hold it approximately 1/8 of an inch away from the pin while turning on the appliance. This should result in a spark arcing from the pin to the spade connector. If there is no spark at this location, the control board will need to be replaced. Now turn your attention to the control area and set your multimeter to test for ohms. Remove the pilot wire from the valve and place the red lead on the pin and the black lead on the valve body. You should receive a reading of approximately 330 ohms. Next, remove the burner wire from the valve and connect the black lead to the pin and red lead on the valve body. You should receive a reading of approximately 330 ohms. If the valve produces any values outside of these ranges, it will need to be replaced. Now set your multimeter to test for DC voltage. Next, we will be testing the gas valve for correct operation. With your multimeter set to test for volts DC, place the black lead on the pin underneath the orange pilot wire and place the red lead on the valve body. Turn on the appliance and observe the multimeter reading. You should receive an initial reading of approximately 5 volts DC, with a following reading of approximately 3 volts. This reading tells us the control board is sending power through the harness to open the corresponding solenoid. Now move to the interior of the firebox and inspect the pilot assembly. Look for cracks or damage to the ceramic on the flame sensor and the igniter, and look for rust or cracks on the pilot hood. If any of these have damage, they will need to be replaced, as this will affect the operation of the appliance. With the igniter in good condition, you should observe a spark between it and the pilot when the appliance is turned on. Now turn on the gas supply, then set the appliance to CPI and turn it on. If there is a spark, but the gas is not lighting, turn the gas off and turn your attention to the underside of the pilot. Unlatch the clips below the pilot hood using a flathead screwdriver and remove the pilot hood itself. Check the orifice for any blockage and the pilot tube for damage, which could limit or divert the flow of gas. Next, test the gas pressure at the valve. Start by locating your manometer and resetting it so it reads 0 inches water column. When performing a gas pressure test, identify all other gas appliances being serviced on the same line and turn them all on to high fire. This ensures that the appliance you are servicing can receive the correct gas pressure, regardless of the other gas appliances in the line. Locate the inlet pressure test port and outlet pressure test port on the gas valve. Use a small flathead screwdriver to loosen the inlet pressure test port and place the tip of the manometer over the port. Turn on the gas supply, and your manometer should indicate a reading of approximately 7 inches water column for natural gas and 13 inches water column for propane. Turn off the gas, disconnect the manometer, and retighten the inlet pressure test port. Then repeat the previous steps to test the outlet pressure. With the fireplace on high, your manometer should indicate a reading of approximately 3.5 inches water column for natural gas and 10 inches water column for propane. If any of these values are incorrect, check the gas lines for blockages and correct sizing according to local regulations and appliance requirements. If the appliance was converted to propane, check that the conversion was done correctly, using the product manual. If the gas line is clear of blockages and the conversion, if performed, was done correctly, but you still receive an incorrect reading at the valve will need to be replaced. Click here to view the Wolfsteel Technical YouTube page. Like and subscribe to our channel to get notifications for new product and troubleshooting videos.